Hey guys, my semester is starting again. Sorry for this crazy curl. I don't know what's. Just ignore it. But yeah, since my semester starts again, it means that I'm more on my laptop and more likely to film YouTube videos. And yeah, I wanted to talk about one of the topics that were the most difficult for me back then in my ED recovery, and also in my ED. So comparison. When I was disordered, I always compare myself to other people when I had the chance to. So when I don't know whether my mom, my friend, like some random work colleague, whatever, I always had to compare what I like ate and or how much I moved versus how much they ate and they moved. And I would always also try to subtly ask them like how much they ate throughout the day and stuff like that. Really, it was very much for me a way to kind of confirm that I was eating little enough, you know. And then during my ED recovery, it was a topic that really stayed with me for a long time. Even when I managed to eat like a lot, I still had struggles to not compare myself with other people if they ate less than me or if they moved more than me. So this was a topic, as I said, that really stayed with me for a long time. And sometimes to this day, I'm a little like sometimes I still think about it very little, but sometimes I do. And I want to share an example. So, and how I deal with it. So, as I said, I generally don't think too much about it anymore. But last Saturday, I was at like a little dinner thingy from my association, and my boyfriend is in the same association, so he was also there. And then, like, throughout the evening, our group kind of split into two. And he was like playing ping pong with his friend, but like the type of ping pong where you run around the table, or table tennis, I think it's called, where you run around the table and like until you miss one, and then you have to wait until the round is finished, and then you can join again running around the table. And my boyfriend is really good at it, so he like always ended up in the final, which just meant that he was running like for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours straight basically, and he was even sweating even though he never sweats. And then meanwhile I was like at a table playing like a board game kind of. So I was just sat there the whole time while he was running. And one time, like, I got a little bit this thought of, oh my god, I shouldn't be sitting here. I should be running around the table with him. Otherwise, he like moves much more than me. And then at the same moment, I was like, girl, what are you thinking about? So I just told myself, like, we're completely different people. I am happy with the way I am, the way I look, the way I feel. So why should I change anything just because another person is doing something else, you know? And yeah, that just helped. And then I could focus again on the game, and it was all over. But at the beginning, it's much more difficult than that. So what you need to think, I mean, there's different things you would compare yourself to during recovery. So for one, of course, the amount you're eating. Oh my god, I felt so bad because I was constantly eating much more than my friends, my family, anyone, simply because I was in recovery, and I always had to tell myself over and over again that I am in a completely different stage of life than they are. I am in recovery, like. For 1.5 to 2 years, I completely starved myself, and a little more than that, but you know, the main period. And yeah, I mean, my body needed so much energy to get to the same level that this person is already. So of course, I'm eating differently. The same with movement. I always felt so bad when people talked about like how they did exercise or how they did that or that, and I was just there, always like in my room, just chilling, not doing anything. But again, this is the same thing. Like for 1.5 years or 2 years, my body, and probably for you it's even longer, your body was completely stressed and starved and like too much movement. And so of course now you need a lot of rest, much more than this normal person who didn't experience that. Same with like looking different. This is a very, very difficult topic. I think that just you look, of course, usually bigger than people around you when you're in recovery, and maybe even after. Never bigger than anyone, maybe, but bigger than a lot of people. But again, like your body is in such a weird phase of life. It needs to change so much. Like it was so starved, and now it just has finally the chance to like store some fat and feel safe. So of course it wants to be big, and it wants to have like all of this safety, which is fat, because it just is stored energy. And it takes a long time until your body feels comfortable again and trusts you enough, or the environment, to let go of this safety measure. What else? Yeah, then generally, I mean, there's different genetics. I will never be as skinny as my boyfriend's family or as my cousins. They just have a very different body type. And then again, like, but then I see like certain struggles that they have. For example, my very skinny cousin, she has a lot of stomach issues, which is probably why she's so skinny. Like, there's often things you don't see about a person that you are so jealous of, which, like, if you compare your total you and their total you, they have certain things that might be better in your eyes, and you have certain things that might be better in their eyes. And in the end, I think everyone has, like, of course there's privileged people, not privileged people, but all in all, I think every person is more or less the same amount of having advantages and disadvantages, and valuable, of course, the same amount. So you should never try to compare yourself solely on like one factor, because you most likely don't know everything about that person. And for example, I currently have like some struggles regarding my past, like regarding family issues. My parents are divorced, but like I still have really a great family. But then it's always very hard for me to see like friends or my boyfriend who has like just this very united family, and like this typical family. And it always brings up some type of jealousy in me. But then if I think about it, I still have like certain things in my relationship to my mom, for example, that others don't have, because they didn't bond as much as we did during our struggles. So in the end, I think everything balances out, but it's just very difficult to see if you're struggling, if you have a hard time with a certain topic. But yeah, just always try to see the big picture, try to see everything as a phase. Like, you're currently in a very strange phase, so it's not okay to compare yourself anyway to anyone, because of course you're eating much more than a normal person. I also ate much more than I do now, because I was just in a completely different phase during my recovery. So yeah, I hope that could help a little and maybe lift some pressure or weight out of or away from your shoulders, because really you always have to see that it's not forever, it's really a phase, and the more you let yourself go, the faster it goes over. And yeah, okay, I wish you a very nice day, and I hope that now that my semester started, I'm gonna do maybe even weekly videos or more, whatever, or at least I hope so. A little life update from my side. I'm still moved out. I went on 2 vacations this summer. I worked 1 month for 100%, otherwise I usually work 60%. My job is going really well. And yeah, I don't know, like so many things are coming true. I feel so confident usually. People still tell me, especially at work, that I should be more confident. But other than that, I feel like my life is really coming together. And of course, you always have to work on certain struggles. Like, for example, me right now with my family issues. It's like a reoccurring theme, but yeah. But yeah, generally, I feel incredible compared to ED times and recovery times. And yeah, I just hope this serves maybe as a motivation for you to really go through this hard time of recovery in order to just get to a much more happy place. Yeah. Wish you a nice day. Bye, guys.